So Mark Carney wants us to be more productive so government can redistribute more of our wealth. Sounds like a Marxist. Well, that's exactly what he sounds like. How is this appealing to anybody, by the way? Like,
we should first acknowledge that we have less to spend because we have become less productive. And unless we turn that around, Canadian prosperity for all Canadians will be severely compromised. Because we can't redistribute what we don't have. And we can't pull our weight abroad unless we are strong at home.
And of course, Mark Carney is a big World Economic Forum guy. He's a big UN guy. He's a globalist. So when he's talking about redistribution, he's not just talking about Canada. He's talking about redistributing your extra production all over the world, places you've never heard of. When Sri Lanka gets that new gender studies program that none of them asked for, they can thank your extra productivity for it.
We can't redistribute what we don't have.
He said the same thing at his launch in Edmonton. Can't redistribute what we don't have. So what he means is that Canadians have to be more productive to make more money so that he can redistribute that money. That's what he means there, right? So, I mean, there's a kind of a problem with this and productivity is that, taxing people too much is that they automatically become less productive. They work less. They try less because it becomes pointless because somebody like him will just take the fruits of their labor and redistribute it to somebody else because it'll go over well at the next, dinner party he goes to with other people that are totally insulated from the policies that he advocates for. Every Canadian needs to see this stuff. He's saying right here, I want to make it pointless to try. That's what he's saying. I want to make it pointless for you to work overtime. I want to make it pointless for you to, become an entrepreneur, right? Because the extra money you make, I'm just going to give that to other people who don't deserve it. Yeah. Canada would have to be insane to elect somebody like him. Now, after, the better part of a decade with Justin Trudeau, have to be insane. If he somehow did, or Chrystia Freeland somehow did manage to become prime minister in the next election, that signals it's just time to leave Canada because Canada has become totally and utterly retarded at that point. And there's just no saving it.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Never go full retard. Canada, are you listening? Let's see. Rebecca Schultz says major banks across North America are leaving Mark Carney's international net zero banking scheme. But some Canadian banks remain members. So what's going on here? Let's take a look.
Hey, everybody. It is Rebecca Schultz, Alberta's Environment Minister here. For some of you, you may have seen the news break yesterday that Bank of Montreal, National Bank, and TD have quit something called the Net Zero Banking Alliance. This is great news. It's something we've seen happening in the United States. It's great to see it here. The Net Zero Banking Alliance, it's a United Nations group that was created to try to throttle lending to companies that some Bay Street bankers just didn't think were green enough. Who created it? Well, Mark Carney, Justin Trudeau's hand-picked successor. The alliance is a bit of a scam. So it's designed to give liberals like Carney a platform to virtue signal about the environment, but it is designed to also attack industries who are actually lowering emissions. And for everyday hardworking Albertans and Canadians, it also means a higher cost of living. It means a worse economy, less money to invest in things like healthcare and education, and it means fewer jobs. It drives energy investment elsewhere and away from places like here where our environmental standards are high. So while it's great to see common sense returning to Canada, unfortunately, we do still have a few banks who are members. Help me change that by sharing this message. It's time for the remaining Canadian banks to go back to investing in our energy industry, to support safe, affordable, reliable, responsibly produced energy for Canadians, and to leave Mark Carney and the Liberals' net zero virtue signaling behind.
All right. So, Mark Carney is like a UN climate envoy. He's very deeply into this. He talks glowingly about Greta Thunberg. You will have seen all of this in the videos I've been making about Mark Carney to try and educate Canadians about who this guy really is. But it's always people that are insulated from the consequences of this stuff. You know, it's top down. None of this stuff is grassroots. Anybody who says this stuff is grassroots, eco movement's grassroots, no, it's not. It's always top down. All of the worst things that we're experiencing are top down, right? Mass immigration, top down. That's not grassroots. There's no grassroots movement for mass immigration in Canada. It's always top down, right? The gender stuff, top down, push down. There's no actual grassroots movement. I mean, there's a very vocal
small fringe minority.
But it's school boards, it's universities, it's the politicians like Trudeau himself pushing this bizarre redefinition of the word gender, you know, into this infinite series of abstractions totally unmoored from reality. It's always top down, all of it. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.